I have a question on reproductive freedom.
Yeah.
And I come from a conservative Christian pro-life family, and I was a Republican until Donald Trump's presidency. Like most Americans, I believe in a woman's right to choose.
Yeah.
And with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, my 21-year-old daughter now has fewer rights than her mother or her grandmothers.
Yeah.
I no longer recognize the Republican Party. They have introduced bills from everything from restricting birth control to bringing homicide charges for abortion. It is such an extreme, radical agenda by any standards. And it seems less about the unborn and more about controlling women. So my question is, what are your thoughts on this extremism, and how can we restore those fundamental human rights that have been taken away from the American women?
Thank you.
So to your point, when Donald Trump was president, he hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe, and they did as he intended. And now there are at least 20 states in our country that have criminalized healthcare providers, to your point. I mean, in Texas, the law provides for prison for life for a doctor, nurse, healthcare provider for doing what they believe is healthcare and in the best interest of their patient. Punishing women, I was actually just this week, just a few days ago, in the state of Georgia with the mother of a young woman who died because of Georgia's abortion ban, and she had to go to another state, and it's a long and very tragic story that did not have to be. Since the 2 years that the Dobbs decision came down that this happened, I have had conversations with a number of people who were opposed to abortion and remain opposed to it, but did not intend for the harm that we are seeing to happen. And I think as this decision came down and we are seeing the harm, there are more and more people who are agreeing that this should not be the government making this decision for women and their families. And the way that we will address this is eventually Congress needs to pass a law restoring those protections. And we need to agree that in our society, we should not have laws that are treating people in a way that is causing such harm. I'll give you another example of the harm that is going on. I started my career as a prosecutor. I have prosecuted everything from low-level offenses to homicides. But one of the reasons I became a prosecutor is because when I was in high school, I learned that my best friend was being molested by her stepfather. And so I said to her, you have to come live with us. I called my mother. My mother said, of course, and she did. And I made a decision early in my life that I wanted to do the work that was about protecting vulnerable people. There are some of these bans that include no exception for rape or incest. I have specialized in those kinds of cases. And the notion that we would tell a survivor of a crime that is a violation to their body, that they have no right to make a decision about what happens to their body next, I mean, I think that's just unconscionable. I think it's immoral. So to your point, when Donald Trump was president, he hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court So to your point, when Donald Trump was president, he hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe, and they did as he intended. With the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe, and they did as he intended. And now there are at least 20 states in our country that have criminalized healthcare providers, to your point. And now there are at least 20 states in our country that have criminalized healthcare providers, to your point. I mean, in Texas, the law provides for prison for life for a doctor, nurse, healthcare provider for doing what they believe is healthcare and in the best interest of their patient. I mean, in Texas, the law provides for prison for life for a doctor, nurse, healthcare provider for doing what they believe is healthcare and in the best interest of their patient. Punishing women, I was actually just this week, just a few days ago, in the state of Georgia with the mother of a young woman who died because of Georgia's abortion ban. Punishing women, I was actually just this week, just a few days ago, in the state of Georgia with the mother of a young woman who died because of Georgia's abortion ban. And she had to go to another state, and it's a long and very tragic story that did not have to be. And she had to go to another state, and it's a long and very tragic story that did not have to be. Since the 2 years that the Dobbs decision came down that this happened, I have had conversations with a number of people who were opposed to abortion. Since the 2 years that the Dobbs decision came down that this happened, I have had conversations with a number of people who were opposed to abortion. And remain opposed to it, but did not intend for the harm that we are seeing to happen. And remain opposed to it, but did not intend for the harm that we are seeing to happen. And I think as this decision came down and we are seeing the harm, and I think as this decision came down and we are seeing the harm, there are more and more people who are agreeing that this should not be the government making this decision for women and their families. There are more and more people who are agreeing that this should not be the government making this decision for women and their families. And the way that we will address this is eventually Congress needs to pass a law restoring those protections. And the way that we will address this is eventually Congress needs to pass a law restoring those protections. And we need to agree that in our society, we should not have laws that are treating people in a way that is causing such harm. And we need to agree that in our society, we should not have laws that are treating people in a way that is causing such harm. I'll give you another example of the harm that is going on. I'll give you another example of the harm that is going on. I started my career as a prosecutor. I have prosecuted everything from low-level offenses to homicides. I started my career as a prosecutor. I have prosecuted everything from low-level offenses to homicides. But one of the reasons I became a prosecutor is because when I was in high school, I learned that my best friend was being molested by her stepfather. But one of the reasons I became a prosecutor is because when I was in high school, I learned that my best friend was being molested by her stepfather. And so I said to her, "You have to come live with us." I called my mother. My mother said, "Of course," and she did. And so I said to her, "You have to come live with us." I called my mother. My mother said, "Of course," and she did. And I made a decision early in my life that I wanted to do the work that was about protecting vulnerable people. And I made a decision early in my life that I wanted to do the work that was about protecting vulnerable people. There are some of these bans that include no exception for rape or incest. There are some of these bans that include no exception for rape or incest. I have specialized in those kinds of cases. I have specialized in those kinds of cases. And the notion that we would tell a survivor of a crime that is a violation to their body And the notion that we would tell a survivor of a crime that is a violation to their body, that they have no right to make a decision about what happens to their body next, I mean, I think that's just unconscionable. I think it's immoral. That they have no right to make a decision about what happens to their body next, I mean, I think that's just unconscionable. I think it's immoral.